Welcome to Hannity. Tonight, the left has found a new way to limit your Second Amendment rights, those rights of law-abiding gun owners. Now, liberals are no longer simply setting their sights on taking away your guns. Now they're pushing through unprecedented restrictions on your ammunition. Here are the latest developments. In Connecticut, lawmakers are expected to vote tomorrow on a bill that requires the following. Magazines that carry more than 10 bullets must be registered. The law would also create a, quote, ammunition eligibility certificate, which means that background checks would be needed just to purchase ammo. A lot of good those guns would be without ammo. It would also, quote, implement a dangerous weapon offenders registry. But Connecticut is not the only state looking to limit ammunition purchases. Now, a similar proposal is being floated in California by a Democrat who wants to require that ammo be sold only to licensed dealers and would force sellers to notify police if a specific amount of bullets was sold under a certain number of days. Now, there seems to be a few reasons for this change in tactics. Now, while liberal lawmakers, they do not have the constitutional authority to take away your guns, there is no clear constitutional protection in their mind over ammunition. And as we've now seen in recent weeks, Democratic lawmakers in Washington, they don't have the votes necessary to pass an assault weapons ban. So it appears they are refocusing now on individual states and on your ammo. And to help prove our point, earlier today, the White House announced that President Obama, he's going to travel to Connecticut next week to continue to push his anti-gun agenda. It's all starting to make sense. Joining me now with reaction, radio talk show host Dana Lash and Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall. Leslie, is a gun, you don't have ammo for that gun? Is it worth anything?
I don't know. You're the one who always tells me, Sean, as a gun owner, and, you know, all your buddies, that guns don't kill. People do, but I guess the ammunition really does. And quite frankly, you know, the Second Amendment does not address taxation, registration, or anything regarding ammunition.
You didn't answer my
this
question.
is within the boundaries.
Does a gun kill?
Yes, a gun can kill without ammunition.
The right of the people
a gun can kill without ammunition.
The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So if the government is either buying up ammunition or making you get, quote, gun insurance, which now is being pushed as well in some states, and they're limiting your ability to purchase ammunition, does that not render your Second Amendment rights useless?
I don't believe so, and I'm not trying to be violent here, Sean, but if you take a gun, which I have not done, and I don't have, as you know, and you even see this in films, you can whack somebody to death with that, Sean. I mean, this is one of the arguments that and other things can be used as a weapon.
The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, but no bullets in the gun, Dana. Now you know what? I had this understanding. I was way out of whack. I actually thought bullets were included in that constitutional right. Dana?
Yeah, I didn't know we were talking about pistol whipping tonight. But no, Sean, to your point, all of these new laws that are being proposed, and some of these are just sin taxes, let's call them what they are. It's the Democrats' version of a sin tax. Not a single one of these laws would do or have done anything to prevent massacres like this, and it wouldn't have done anything to prevent the Newtown massacre either. I mean, that's the thing. Adam Lanza changed magazines multiple times. It wouldn't have any effect. And we've even had lawmakers in Connecticut kind of admit that. You're the former Attorney General in Connecticut, Blumenthal, say, yeah, it really wouldn't have prevented Newtown. So if we're talking about preventing more Newtowns, then why are we pushing laws that would not have prevented Newtown?
All right, that raises a great question. I'll throw that to Leslie. Leslie, can you name one proposal that's out there today by the left, by Democrats, the ammo laws that we're talking about, even the United Nations issue that came up earlier today, which the United States wants to be a part, which is really scary to me. I don't want to be governed by the UN. Is there any one law, though, that you can think of proposed by Democrats that would have prevented Newtown?
Actually, I don't have the statistics for that, Sean, because obviously we don't have a universal background check system, so I can't say what would have happened.
No.
But wait.
No.
But you have to understand. You have to understand what you guys always say. What you guys on the right always say. My buddies there on the right, the two of you, is that give the states more power, and in the state of Connecticut, 2-to-1, 66 to 30%, the people of Connecticut want this gun control.
So guns are used as pistol whips. I got it.
Want this.
All right, but this is important because, you know what, Dana? I don't want to turn on the TV. I don't want to turn into the Fox News channel and see another one of these tragedies. Now, I don't know, for whatever reason, the left thought it was funny that Wayne LaPierre suggested that former military people, former policemen, could be hired by these schools and other places, just like Hollywood stars and sports stars and politicians. Right. They have armed guards. And why not put them in school as the front line in defense? It would be an investment I'd be willing to pay for as an overtaxed New Yorker.
And Sean, that's something you want to talk about, what Connecticut parents wanted, what Newtown parents wanted. They wanted that. They voted for that. They voted for armed security in their schools. So they actually agreed with the NRA and Wayne LaPierre on that. And as far as, states choosing to do what they want to do, if we're going to talk about the Supremacy Clause and the enumerated powers of the Constitution, the Second Amendment, that's a civil federal right there, civil liberty. So we're talking about modifying essentially what's a federal civil liberty, and that's a discussion we can have for another time. But no, the parents voted for that in Connecticut. They voted for armed security in their schools. They agree with the NRA.
What do you think they're being a little extra clever here? Because it's interesting. It's Harry Reid protecting all these Democrats up for re-election in the Senate in 2014 from red state Democrats, by not bringing this legislation for a vote. So the political cowardice is coming from Harry Reid. But if they now go for ammunition, it's just another way of rendering the gun useless. There's no point.
All right.
Well, we're going to take an AR-15 and hit, an intruder over the head? Good luck.
Exactly.
Sean,
this didn't work in 1994.
Which one?
Democrats lost after the assault weapons ban in 1994. That's why Harry Reid doesn't want to make this. Sorry, Liz. That's why Harry Reid doesn't want to put this in effect now. He was trying to save Democrats a little face.
You know what, Leslie? Leslie, if this was the moral imperative and they really thought this was the answer, even though none of these laws would have prevented Newtown, then what does that say about your party, that they don't have the courage of their convictions? They're looking more towards their re-election than they are for what they believe is safety of children?
I don't agree with that at all. I mean, I'll go to in my state here in California, Mike Thompson, who's an avid hunter, owns numerous guns, who knows more about guns and usage of guns than I do, and so do you, Sean, who said, look, when you're hunting, you've got 3 rounds. You don't need and can't physically use 30 rounds. And in Connecticut, the parents of these children, the families wanted an outright ban on magazines. So in Connecticut, this is actually watered down from what the families and the parents of the victims of Newtown
how silly that argument is? As a marksman, and I've been shooting guns since I'm 11. I've carried guns my entire adult life with carry pistol permits. That is the dumbest argument I think I've ever heard.
Yeah. It's a dumb argument. Then why are you afraid to register or pay taxes for those ammunition?
Everyone always talks about hunting.
One at a time, Dana.
Everybody always talks about hunting, and that only makes sense if you believe that the Second Amendment is based upon hunting, but it's not. The Second Amendment is all about defending against not only individual aggressors, domestic aggressors, and government tyranny. Thank you. That's what it's about.
And Dana, I'm just curious, and I say this with all due respect because I'm being on with you tonight. When was the last time the government, state or federal, came knocking at your door and was trying to take things, guns, etc., away from you?
Apparently they don't want us to buy ammo.
Or trying to violate your rights to
because it hasn't happened yet, the presupposition is that it won't happen? Well, first of all, let's look in your state of California. Let's talk about that.
We have 2 guys dead in Dallas,
There was a couple in California that were raided. The husband had his registered firearms taken from him because his wife voluntarily committed herself to a mental facility already. So that already happened in your state, which I'm sure you're well aware of, with all due respect.
And in Texas,
that's already happened.
And in Texas, as you're well aware of, 2 guys were just killed that had guns in their homes with bullets.
Just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it won't. And that's what the beauty of the Second Amendment is about, to ensure that it won't.
Or the right not to have
That's
them.
what it's
Or
about.
the right to choose not to have them.
Yeah, you can choose to not. That's right. You can choose not to. But don't deny me my right to it.
Thank you very much.
I don't.
I know a lot of liberals would like to, obviously, and the president's out there twisting the arms of state legislatures now to try and get his way because he can't get the bill passed because his own party won't go forward with the bill because they're all protecting themselves politically. But thank you both. Good to see you. And a busy night continues here.